Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the evening news. The headlines. Outgoing President Ramnath Kovind exudes belief that country is getting equipped to make 21st century the century of India, addresses the nation on the eve of demitting office. Newly elected President of India Draupadi Murmu to take oath in the Central Hall of Parliament tomorrow morning. Central government offices in the vicinity of Parliament House to remain partially closed in view of the swearing-in ceremony. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says it is government's priority to achieve Atmanirbharta in defence to develop robust security apparatus for safety and security of the nation. A suspected case of monkeypox found in Delhi. ICSE Class 12th Board Examination results declared. Sports Authority of India launches Create for India campaign to cheer for Team India participating in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Olympic champion Neeraj Chopra creates history by becoming the first Indian to win silver medal at the World Athletics Championships at Oregon, US. And in cricket, the second ODI of the three-match series between India and West Indies underway at Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain. And now the news in detail. President Ramnath Kovind today exuded belief that the country is getting equipped to make the 21st century the century of India. In his farewell address to the nation, Mr. Kovind assured that India's great future is secured with each of its citizens striving to make India better and better.
Here, education is the key. I believe the national education policy will go a long way in making it possible for young Indians to connect with their heritage and also find their feet in the 21st century. To let them flourish tomorrow, healthcare is essential. The pandemic has underlined the need to further improve the public healthcare infrastructure. I am glad that the government has accorded top priority to this task. Once education and healthcare are in place, economic reforms will let citizens find the best course for their lives.
The President said the nation will celebrate the 75th anniversary of independence this August and enter the Amrit Kal, the 25-year period leading to the centenary of independence.
We will enter the Amrit Kal, the 25-year period leading to the centenary of independence. These anniversaries are milestones on the journey of the Republic, a journey to discover its potential and to offer its best to the world.
The President said in modern times the glorious journey of the country commenced with the awakening of nationalistic feelings during colonial rule and the launch of freedom struggle. There were many uprisings across the country in the 19th century. Mr. Kovind said that when Mahatma Gandhi returned to India in 1915, the nationalist fervour was gaining momentum. He expressed belief that no other country has been as fortunate as India in having a galaxy of leaders with exceptional minds within a span of a few decades in the early 20th century.
Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, like a modern-day rishi, was at work to help us find our cultural roots again, while Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar was vigorously advocating the cause of equality that was unheard of in most advanced countries. From Tilak and Gokhale to Bhagat Singh and Netaji, from Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Patel and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee to Sarojini Naidu and Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay. Nowhere in the history of humankind have so many great minds come together for a common cause.
Mr. Kovind emphasized that the formal map for the democratic path of the nation was drafted by the Constituent Assembly. It included great minds from across the country, including 15 remarkable women such as Hansaben Mehta, Durgabhai Deshmukh, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur and Sucheta Kripalani.
The Constitution they prepared, with invaluable contributions from each of them, has been our guiding beacon. Values enshrined in it have been part of the Indian ethos since time immemorial.
Mr. Kovind mentioned that Dr. Ambedkar had pointed out the distinction between two kinds of democracy in his concluding remarks in the Constituent Assembly before the Constitution was adopted. Dr. Ambedkar had said people must not be content with mere political democracy. Mr. Kovind quoted Dr. Ambedkar saying political democracy cannot last unless social democracy lies at the base of it. It means a way of life which recognizes liberty, equality and fraternity as the principles of life. Mr. Kovind stressed that India's ancestors and founders exemplified the meaning of justice, liberty, equality and fraternity with hard work and an attitude of service. He said the nation must follow in their footsteps and keep walking. The President highlighted that the chief goal is to help citizens discover the joy of living, for which their basic necessities must be taken care of. He said the government is to provide better housing and access to drinking water and electricity for every family. He said this change has been made possible by development and good governance which knows no discrimination. Mr. Kovind recounted his childhood days in his address, saying that this connection with roots has been the essence of India. Mr. Kovind requested the younger generation to continue this tradition of staying connected with their villages and towns, schools and teachers. He said it is thanks to the power of the nation's vibrant democratic institutions that Ramnath Kovind from village Parrok could become the President. The President said that he discharged his duties to the best of his abilities during the 5 years of his term. He recounted that whenever in doubt he turned to Gandhiji and his advice of recalling the face of the poorest man and asking if any would be of any use to them. Mr. Kovind expressed gratitude to all the citizens and elected representatives, saying he has been inspired and energized by his interactions with citizens across the country. Concluding his address, he asked everyone to take care of the environment, land, air and water for the sake of children.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur today met President Ramnath Kovind at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Mr. Thakur expressed his gratitude to the President for his successful tenure and for the decisions taken in the interest of the country. He greeted him in the traditional Himachali manner by giving the historic Chamba Thal. President-elect Draupadi Murmu will be sworn in as the 15th President of India in the Central Hall of Parliament at 10:15 a.m. tomorrow. Outgoing President Ramnath Kovind and President-elect Draupadi Murmu will arrive in the Central Hall in a ceremonial procession. President-elect Draupadi Murmu will take the oath of office in the presence of Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, followed by a 21-gun salute. The President will then deliver an address. On the conclusion of the ceremony in the Central Hall, the President will leave for Rashtrapati Bhavan, where an inter-services guard of honour will be given to her in the forecourt and courtesies will be extended to the outgoing President Ramnath Kovind. Chairman of Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, Union Ministers, Governors, Chief Ministers, Heads of Diplomatic Missions, Members of Parliament and principal civil and military officers of the Government of India will assemble in the Central Hall for the swearing-in ceremony. In view of the swearing-in ceremony, the Department of Personnel and Training has issued an order directing partial closure of certain central government offices in the vicinity of the Parliament House. The construction work of the new Parliament building also needs to be kept on hold during the time of the ceremony. As per the order, a total of 30 offices and buildings are required to be vacated by 6 a.m. tomorrow for carrying out an anti-sabotage check. This exercise will continue till the ceremony is over. The buildings that would be vacated early include South Block, North Block, Rail Bhavan, Krishi Bhavan, Shastri Bhavan, Sanchar Bhavan, Akashvani Bhavan, Sena Bhavan, Vayu Bhavan, Udyog Bhavan, Nirman Bhavan and the PTI building among others. These buildings would remain closed from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow.
People belonging to the minority ethnic communities in Bangladesh celebrated the election of Draupadi Murmu as the next President of India. A gathering of people from Santal community brought out a celebratory procession on Friday evening in front of the National Parliament Jatiyo Sanchad in Dhaka. They performed music and dance on the occasion to rejoice the election of the first woman from the tribal community of India as its President. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said India has become a strong and confident nation which is well equipped to protect its people from anyone who tries to cast an evil eye. He said this during an event organized to commemorate Kargil Vijay Divas in Jammu today. Paying glowing tributes to the freedom fighters and the armed forces personnel who have laid down their lives since independence in the service of the nation, Mr. Singh said it was the spirit of national pride at the core of their values that protected the unity and integrity of India.
संप्रभुता को बचाए रखने के लिए भी हमारे देश के बहादुर सेना के जवानों ने, अन्य नागरिकों ने जिस प्रकार का अपना बलिदान दिया है, कौन सी ऐसी भावना है जो उन्हें बलिदान देने के लिए प्रेरित करती है। मैं जब इस पर विचार करता हूं, सहज रूप से इस नतीजे पर पहुंचता हूं, राष्ट्रीय स्वाभिमान की भावना यह मनुष्य के हृदय की सबसे बलवती भावना होती है। हर व्यक्ति का अपना स्वाभिमान होता है, वह जिस समाज का होता है, समाज का स्वाभिमान होता है, परिवार का स्वाभिमान होता है, वैसे ही राष्ट्रीय स्वाभिमान की एक प्रबल भावना होती है।
The Defence Minister spoke about the deeds of the brave soldiers who laid down their lives to protect the unity and integrity of India and continue to be an inspiration to the people, especially the youth. He also paid respects to the Indian soldiers who displayed unmatched bravery during the Galwan Valley incident and ensured that the Indian tricolour continues to fly high. The Defence Minister today announced the setting up of joint theatre commands of the tri-services to enhance coordination among the armed forces, keeping in view of joint operations as seen in Operation Vijay in Kargil. In Ladakh, the Ministry of Tourism, as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, organized the first ever Incredible India Kargil Half Marathon to celebrate the Kargil Vijay Divas and commemorate the sacrifices of martyrs in Kargil. Over 300 people participated in the half marathon.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Outgoing President Ramnath Kovind exudes belief that country is getting equipped to make 21st century the century of India, addresses the nation on the eve of demitting office. Newly elected President of India Draupadi Murmu to take oath in the Central Hall of Parliament tomorrow morning. Central government offices in the vicinity of Parliament House to remain partially closed in view of the swearing-in ceremony. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says it is government's priority to achieve Atmanirbharta in defence to develop robust security apparatus for safety and security of the nation. A suspected case of monkeypox found in Delhi. ISC Class 12 board examination results declared. Sports Authority of India launches Create for India campaign to cheer for Team India participating in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Olympic champion Neeraj Chopra creates history by becoming the first Indian to win silver medal at World Athletics Championships at Oregon, US. And in cricket, second ODI of the three-match series between India and West Indies underway at Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का सुलभ और सस्ता माध्यम है आकाशवाणी।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न केंद्रों से कीजिए अपने उत्पादों और सेवाओं का प्रचार विज्ञापनों के माध्यम से।
लोकल और राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर कीजिए अपने बिजनेस का विस्तार, क्योंकि आकाशवाणी में विज्ञापन बुकिंग हुई बहुत ही आसान।
अब घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे आप कर सकते हैं विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
डायल कीजिए 870-001-4242।
नंबर एक बार फिर नोट करें, 870-001-4242।
Welcome back. You are tuned to the evening news on All India Radio. The Union Health Ministry today said a 34-year-old male resident of Delhi has been isolated at Lok Nayak Hospital as a suspected case of monkeypox. The ministry said National Institute of Virology, Pune, has confirmed the diagnosis. The patient is presently recovering at the designated isolation center. The patient, with no travel history, is the fourth case of monkeypox in the country. Close contacts of the case has been identified and are under quarantine. Further public health interventions like identification of the source of infection, enhanced contact tracing, and testing sensitization of private practitioners are being carried out. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has said in a tweet, the situation is under control and there is no need to panic. He said a separate isolation ward is set up at LNJP Hospital and the best team is on the case to prevent the spread and protect Delhiites. In Telangana, also a suspected case of monkeypox was identified in Kamareddy district today. The 35-year-old victim from Indiranagar colony went to area hospital in the district after he noticed rashes on body and had fever. The deputy DMHO, Dr. Sobha Rani, confirmed the incident and said the victim has been shifted to a hospital in Hyderabad. He recently returned to India from Kuwait. Details are awaited. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared outbreak of monkeypox as a global health emergency. The announcement came at the end of the second meeting of the WHO's Emergency Committee on the virus. The classification is the highest alert that the WHO can issue and follows a worldwide upsurge in cases. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said more than 16,000 cases have now been reported from 75 countries. There have been 5 deaths so far as a result of the outbreak. There are only 2 other such health emergencies at present, the coronavirus pandemic and the continuing effort to eradicate polio.
The Council for the Indian School Certificate Examinations, CISCE, has declared the Class 12 ISC results this evening. The results have been uploaded on the website of the CISCE. Students can view their results by logging on to results.cisce.org. Results are also available through SMS, for which details have been posted on the website. Today is Aikar Divas, also known as Income Tax Day. It was introduced in 2010 to commemorate 150 years of income tax in India. The income tax was first levied as a duty in the year 1860, and the authority to levy IT came into force on the 24th of July that year. The day is celebrated with several outreach programs and events to promote the payment of taxes and educate potential taxpayers that payment of taxes is the duty of citizens. The 163rd anniversary of Income Tax Day was observed by the Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT, and all its field offices across the country today. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, in her message to the Income Tax Department, observed that the reforms introduced by the government in recent years have ensured a trust-based tax system. She noted that the taxpayers also have vindicated this trust-based approach, which is evident from improved tax collections and increased number of IT returns filed. Ms. Sitharaman appreciated the IT department for successfully implementing the policy reforms and effectively reorienting itself as a taxpayer-centric organization. The Finance Minister complimented the department for having achieved the highest ever revenue collection of over 14 lakh crore in the last fiscal.
Government has directed all major ports to exempt with immediate effect all berth hiring and vessel-related charges being currently levied to the RoPax and passenger ferries for the next 6 months. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways said the decision has been taken to provide some quick respite to port sector from the impact of global increase in price of fuel. The cost of marine fuel, low sulfur, high flash, high speed diesel has increased from 76,000 rupees per kiloliter to 1,21,000 rupees per kiloliter. A 215-member Indian athlete contingent across 16 disciplines is all set to participate in the Commonwealth Games beginning on July 28th in Birmingham. The Sports Authority of India has started a new initiative to cheer for Team India participating in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham with the campaign Create for India. Participants can submit their creative entries by July 26, 2022 using the hashtags Create for India and hashtag Cheer for India.
Indian high jumper Tejaswin Shankar has been finally cleared to compete at the Commonwealth Games 2022, which begins at Birmingham in the United Kingdom on Thursday. Tejaswin Shankar, who holds the high jump national record, received the green light to compete at the Commonwealth Games 2022 after a meeting of the chef de missions took place at the Athletes Village in Birmingham. Tejaswin Shankar will travel to Birmingham in place of injured runner Arogya Rajiv. The Commonwealth Games are starting from the 28th of this month and will continue till the 8th of August. The Sports Can program of All India Radio News has started Commonwealth Games quiz with AIR News in its daily program Sports Can to cheer Team India. Rishi Chakrabarti of Kharagpur, West Bengal has become the quiz winner by giving the first correct answer to our yesterday's question. Rishi expressed his gratitude to AIR News after winning the quiz.
I am Rishi Chakrabarti from Kharagpur, West Bengal. I am a constant listener of All India Radio from past 19 years. I would like to say thanks to Sports Scan for choosing me winner of this Commonwealth quiz. Also, I would like to say this is a good initiative from Sports Scan. Sports Scan provides us daily good knowledge of sports. I would like to wish all Indian players for the Commonwealth Games from bottom of my heart.
Listen to Commonwealth Games quiz with AIR News Sports Can at 7:20 p.m. every day. All you have to do is reply to a question on the Commonwealth Games. Email your answers at airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer will be selected as the winner and rewarded with a jersey of the Indian Commonwealth Games team. So keep cheering to India, listening to Sports Can at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold 100.1 MHz and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
Olympic champion Neeraj Chopra today created history by becoming the first Indian to win the silver medal at the World Athletics Championships. India's ace javelin thrower and Tokyo Olympic gold medalist Chopra grabbed second position in the prestigious competition. After a foul in his first attempt, he threw his best throw of 88.13 meters this morning at Eugene in Oregon, US. Anderson Peters of Grenada beat Chopra to win the gold with a throw of 90.54 meters. Neeraj Chopra is the first ever Indian to win a silver medal at the World Athletics Championships and the second Indian to win a medal. Before this, Anju Bobby George won a bronze medal in long jump in Paris Games in 2003. Interacting with the media after winning the medal, Neeraj Chopra said that he is satisfied with the result. He said that he will try to do better at the World Championships next year.
मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा कंडीशन थी जो थोड़ी डिफरेंट थी और डिफिकल्ट थी, पर जो वो थ्रो थी अच्छा लगा था, मुझे अच्छा फील हुआ था, तो मुझे लग रहा था कि हाँ और अच्छी थ्रो है, पर सिल्वर मेडल की थ्रो थी और सेटिस्फाई है जो भी रिजल्ट है उससे। काफी टाइम बाद अपने इंडिया का मेडल आया है तो इतनी खुशी है वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में।
President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur have congratulated Neeraj Chopra on this achievement. As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with the listeners tomorrow. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now let's listen to a special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
बंदीत माय भूहि आमी खुले कशाला.
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter Anna Patrave. Anna was a resident of Satara, Maharashtra. Noticing the spreading of the Quit India movement in Satara, the British police launched a full-fledged campaign against the people who participated in it. They arrested a number of demonstrators, including Anna Patrave, and kept them in Sangli Central Jail.
On the 24th of July 1943, Anna Patrave, along with others, made a daring attempt at escaping from the jail. But hearing about the escape bid, the Sangli State Police followed them, and in the encounter, Anna Patrave was shot dead on the 24th of July 1943. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil.
We also remember renowned flautist and nationalist Pandit Pannalal Ghosh, who was born on the 24th of July 1911 in Barisal, now in Bangladesh. During his young days at Barisal, Pannalal was active in the freedom struggle, and in the formative phase of his career, he also came under the influence of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore and Qazi Nazrul Islam, who helped instill nationalistic outlook in him.
In 1928, Ghosh joined a gymnasium and learned martial arts, boxing and stick fighting to fight against the British. As he became more involved in the independence movement, the British authorities started keeping a close watch on him. He had to flee to Kolkata. His childhood friend and brother-in-law, Anil Biswas, also came to Kolkata.
In Kolkata, Pannalal utilized his musical skills and assisted in music production. In 1940, he moved to Bombay to further expand his music career. He joined the Bombay Talkies Film Studio and gave music to quite a few popular films. A disciple of Alauddin Khan, Pannalal is credited with popularizing the flute as a concert instrument in Hindustani classical music and also the pioneer of Indian classical flute.
The true patriot that he was, Pannalal Ghosh gave stirring compositions and flute playback for the nationalistic film Andolan in 1951. The movie has actual footage of India's freedom struggle, speeches and talks of Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and many others are included in the narrative of this film.
Ghosh's music represents a unique confluence of technique and expertise, which are the characteristics of the Beenkar tradition. Pannalal Ghosh was the conductor of All India Radio's Vadya Vrinda Orchestra from 1956 till his demise in 1960 when he was only 48. In these creative years, he produced many compositions like Kalinga Vijaya and Rituraj.
Pandit Pannalal Ghosh's legacy continues with his many disciples. We salute the great nationalist and music exponent.
We pay tribute to the freedom fighter Konda Venkata Ranga Reddy, who died on the 24th of July, 1970. Popularly known as K.V. Ranga Reddy, he was born on the 12th of December 1890 and fought against the Razakars of Nizam of Hyderabad. After the integration of Hyderabad in India, Reddy served as the Minister of Revenue in 1959 and served as the first Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh from 1959 to 1962.
K.V. Ranga Reddy participated in the Telangana movement and is known for his forthright speech at Siddhyambar Bazar, which ended with his words, "Ghulam ki zindagi se maut achhi." Reddy founded the educational institution A.V. College.
K.V. Ranga Reddy continued to work for the betterment of people till his death in 1970. AIR News salutes the great nationalist.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In cricket, West Indies were 145 for 3 in 26 overs against India in the second ODI of the three-match series at Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain when reports last came in. The hosts won the toss and elected to bat.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Outgoing President Ramnath Kovind exudes belief that country is getting equipped to make 21st century the century of India, addresses the nation on the eve of demitting office. Newly elected President of India, Draupadi Murmu, to take oath in the Central Hall of Parliament tomorrow morning. Central government offices in the vicinity of Parliament House to remain partially closed in view of the swearing-in ceremony. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says it is the government's priority to achieve Atmanirbharta in defence to develop robust security apparatus for safety and security of the nation. A suspected case of monkeypox found in Delhi. ISC Class 12 board examination results declared. Sports Authority of India launches Centre for India campaign to cheer for Team India participating in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Olympic champion Neeraj Chopra creates history by becoming the first Indian to win silver medal at the World Athletics Championship at Oregon, US. And in cricket, the second ODI of the three-match series between India and West Indies underway at Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.
If you have devotion towards duty and your heart is full of passion, then Agnipath scheme is for you only.
Hi, this is Nikhil. It is a matter of pride to wear Indian Navy uniform as Agniveer. With the help of naval training, I will become a skilled professional. Military discipline, physical fitness will give me the confidence to face any challenge. I will get a good financial package at a young age through which I can support my family. By opting to continue in the regular cadre of the Navy after 4 years, I will serve the nation. By becoming an integral part of the Indian Navy, I will become an Agniveer, young, dynamic, motivated, fit and skilled.
Indian Navy, an ocean of opportunities. For details, visit joinindiannavy.gov.in.